Hello and welcome to Positively United today, Friday the 30th of January 2026. I don't think there are any transfer rumours worth commenting on today. They appear to be mostly trash. So let's move to what I think is the main story of the day. And sadly, the main story of the day is hypocrisy. Let me explain. Over the last couple of days, I've done some videos about Michael Carrick. First of all, questioning the criticisms of his inexperience, pointing out that he's got more experience of football management or being a head coach than Pep Guardiola had when he was appointed Barcelona head coach in 2018. Was it 28? Sorry, 2008. And it didn't go badly, did it? When Barcelona appointed Pep Guardiola in 2008. It's gone very, very well for Barcelona and henceforth Man City. He is, in my opinion, and I appreciate there were comments against the video saying otherwise, I think he's the best living manager, the best manager currently in management. But Michael Carrick is more experienced at this moment than Pep was when he was appointed. So we can put that one aside as a reason for not considering Michael Carrick. I've also yesterday put out a video saying what my 3 tests are for Carrick if he is to become the undisputed front runner for the role of permanent head coach at the end of this season. You can go back and watch those if you want to. I'd recommend you do. But what an awful lot of commentators have been saying over the last several days, many of them on YouTube channels, is that nobody should even think of appointing Michael Carrick at this moment because there's a process to go through. And you know what? They're absolutely right. There is a process to go through. I certainly don't want to see Michael Carrick appointed permanent head coach right now. There is a process to go through. Let's wait until the end of the season. Let's see if he's passed those 3 tests. But I said he should need to pass yesterday. And by the way, those 3 tests are he qualifies for Europe, he plays the Manchester United way, and if he's appointed permanent head coach, he keeps that team that he's currently got of coaches around him, his support staff, he keeps those together, or at least substantially together. But he can't prove that until the end of the season. So yes, we should wait until the end of the season, and yes, we should investigate other head coaches too, people like Tuchel, people like Pochettino, who don't become available until after the World Cup. I totally agree with the YouTubers and the other social media commentators and the ex-Man United players who say that. But you know what? I sometimes believe they're not really good faith actors. What do I mean by that? Well, sometimes I think that they pretend that they believe in a process because it's easier to say what they really mean and what they really think. Because I think what an awful lot of them really think is that Michael Carrick shouldn't be the head coach of Manchester United because he's English. And that's not fashionable enough. It's not sexy enough. Now, for people who watch this channel who don't live in England or the United Kingdom, that might seem like an astonishing thing to say. But surely everybody in England, you'd say, want to see an English manager being the head coach at Manchester United or Liverpool or whatever. No, it's exactly the opposite. Homegrown English talent is considered dull and boring. And overseas talent is always, for a certain group of people, considered to be more interesting, more exciting, more sexy, more hipster. And I think that's exactly what Michael Carrick is suffering from at the moment. An inherent anti-English, anti-British bias among some YouTubers, social media commentators, and people in the press. And on channels like Sky. Now, I appreciate, again, some of you looking in must be thinking this is madness. Let me prove it to you, because today proved it. So earlier today, a story broke about Roberto De Zerbi handing in his resignation at Marseille. And this story went like wildfire across the news outlets and news channels and social media channels and YouTube channels. And that almost immediately I saw people running onto their channels on YouTube to tell us that what we should now do is not risk losing De Zerbi. We should now make contact with him because he now might be the best person for Manchester United, the best person for the head coach position. And do we really want to miss out on a brilliant new head coach simply because we've got an interim head coach in Michael Carrick? And some of these people were the exact same people who a few days ago were telling us you can't appoint Carrick now because we have to wait for a process. We have to wait until the summer. We have to wait until the end of the season. Something I agree with, by the way. But they were saying it only a day or 2 days ago. But now they were saying, oh, throw all that away. Let's appoint De Zerbi as head coach. In that action, they showed their true colours. They showed their true hand. The reason that they don't want to appoint Michael Carrick now or at the end of the season is nothing to do with his capabilities as a coach, nothing to do with his experience. It's everything to do with the fact that they are absolutely determined in their mind that the next manager of Manchester United will be anything but English and will be a new hipster manager. And look where that's got us for our last two managers. Ten Hag was the perfect hipster manager, fresh from the, free and flowing, no numbers on the back school of Dutch football. Total football Ten Hag. Look where that got us. And it was exactly the same with Ruben Amorim. Oh, he was perfect in Portugal. He'll be wonderful in English football. The step up to English football in the English Premier League broke Ruben Amorim. He simply wasn't up to it. Now, I'm not saying for one single second that a manager like Tuchel or Ancelotti or Pochettino would not be up to the Premier League. Of course they would be. They've proven it. Has De Zerbi? Well, yeah, he's managed in the Premier League, but has he won anything? De Zerbi, as I said, it was reported this morning that he'd handed in his resignation. By my count, that is the third time he's thrown a strop at Marseille. Is that the kind of manager or head coach that we want? Offering somebody the head coach or manager job at Manchester United is offering them probably the highest stressed, most investigated, most reported job in world football. It is not a job for a flouncing prima donna who will up sticks and walk away at the first sign of pressure. But that's exactly what De Zerbi is showing he is at Marseille. And after we've had a manager in Ruben Amorim who toyed and flounced with the idea of leaving several times, including once in a press conference. No. Are you serious? I wouldn't have De Zerbi as head coach at Manchester United even at the end of a process that ends in the summer. There are far better qualified managers or head coaches for Manchester United than De Zerbi. Tuchel, better quality. Ancelotti, supremely better quality. I believe Pochettino is better quality. Nagelsmann is better quality. But De Zerbi apparently became available today, so we've got to go for De Zerbi because he isn't Carrick and he isn't English. The interesting thing about all this is that later in the day, by the way, the kind of outlets who were saying that he had offered his resignation, apparently because Marseille had been eliminated from the Champions League, were outlets like Foot Mercato, RMC Sport, Goal, Football 365, Transfer Market, One Football, Yahoo. Some UK tabloids were reporting it, and social media accounts and YouTube channels, as I said. Later on in the day, reputable proper outlets like L'Equipe reported that they directly contacted De Zerbi and he denied handing in his resignation. He's reportedly quoted to have said, presumably in French, "I'm still here. I have the strength to stay." One Football, the French edition of One Football, also carries the denial angle. But it might be that they're just simply repeating what L'Equipe had reported. But in that period of time between the story developing and the story being apparently quashed, the dishonesty, and I've got to say it, the dishonesty of quite a few commentators really showed its hand. And we've got to be prepared to call it out when we see it. If you believe in the process, good for you, because I do too. We shouldn't appoint a permanent head coach until the summer. But if you argue that, could you do us all the courtesy of actually meaning it? Because if you say that one day, and then the following day say, oh, let's appoint Roberto De Zerbi simply because he's become available and he's hipster, you really do wreck any confidence we have in you as a serious commentator. You have no credibility at all. That's it for today. A huge rant, I appreciate, but it really made me angry today. It makes you realise just how much Michael Carrick is up against it if he's to get this job permanently. And it's not fair. It really isn't. If you like the video, please hit the like button. I'd appreciate it. It will mean more people see this channel and see this content. If you like what I do, please subscribe. Again, that's so useful for the algorithm in getting this very young channel out in front of people's eyes. If you got a friend who you think would appreciate what I do on this channel, please let them know about it and encourage them to subscribe as well. If you'd like to contribute to the channel in any way, I've set up a Ko-fi account. Any small donation is gratefully received so I can up the technical standard of what I do. Yeah, do follow me on the X channel, the Positively United X channel. The link is in the description. Very, very few followers on X at the moment. Please consider subscribing because I do post, if I can, every day. And I always post out a notice to say when new videos have hit my YouTube channel on X. So if you're just looking at X and you see me post, you'll know that a new video has gone on the YouTube channel. So if you could do all that, that would be absolutely great. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll do a predicted lineup of the game against Fulham tomorrow, playing them on Sunday. And until then, always remain positively united.